I'm Victoria Sinclaire, and
I'm Travis Sinclaire.
And we lived in Paradise for the last 17 years. Today we are home in Paradise.
At our brand new home that just got rebuilt.
Yeah, we were living for 7 months in downtown Chico. Before that, we were living with family in Sacramento until we found stable housing after the fire. But now we are officially home in Paradise. So I work in social services for the county, and I help people get services like Medi-Cal and CalFresh that is needed, especially at this time after the fire. So many people lost their jobs, lost their source of income, on top of losing their housing. So I feel it's a real important job right now, helping others get a little piece of what's needed, as they rebuild or figure things out.
I work at Safeway down in Chico at the moment. I did work in town at the Safeway here and at the Round Table, but both of them burned in the fire. And so Safeway was gracious enough to just tell me, well, wherever you land after this tragedy, if it's on the East Coast or in your backyard, go to work, go into the store, tell them your situation, they'll put you right to work. So I'm very thankful for Safeway because I still have a job. So
yeah. So I woke up, it was just a normal day. I woke up at 5 a.m. I start my day at 7 a.m. at the county in Oroville. And so I left. I went to the Starbucks and got coffee, and I headed down the hill. I got to work, and I looked up towards the hills, and I could see a small plume of smoke. But it didn't look anywhere close to Paradise, and so I just thought, Cal Fire's got that, it'll be fine. And I went and started my day, just everything's normal.
She's calling me, asking me to check the weather outside. How's it look outside? Any smoke? Do you see any fire or anything? I'm like, so I hop out of bed, because I'm still in bed, I'm sleeping in, it's my day off. So I check out our French doors to see what's going on outside. Nothing. There's blue sky, I see a couple clouds, no big deal. So I hop back in bed, and then she calls me again and says, yeah, I think there's a fire up there. It's coming up the canyons. Can you check and see what's going on? Well, she finally calls me back again and says, we've got to go. I'm coming back up the hill. You need to get Emily, get stuff packed. And I'm like, okay. So I turn on the news to see there's got to be something on the news. There's got to be something on Facebook at this point, just so I know, I can take a minute to see what's going on. The news has nothing. There's not a word about a fire at all. Facebook, nothing either. I don't see anything on Rants and Raves. I don't see anything on any of the local sites that says, is there a fire? Because a lot of people these days are always asking, well, if they even smell a hint of smoke, they're like, is there a fire somewhere? Because people are, scared. They're paranoid that the town could go up in flames again. Finally, my daughter comes home. She told me, yeah, they shut the school down. They said there's a fire a couple canyons over, and they sent us home as a precautionary, And so I was like, okay, let's pack a bag. We'll get a couple things together, a couple change of clothes. We're going to get out of town. Vicki was saying something about going to her mom's house like we did before. And that's what the plan was, because that's what we did last time. We got evacuated in the 2008 fire.
My favorite piece of living in Paradise has been, and probably always will be, the parade of flags that happens several times a year. I took part a few years ago. I started volunteering to be someone who sets up flags and takes them down as part of a Girl Scout community service. And so I had my Girl Scouts who varied from like 3rd grade to high school helping with flags, and then also our exchange students loved to do it because it was just this piece of America that was very unique, and that they could take pride in that for now they are American.
One of my favorite things about this town, because I work in the grocery industry, so my store unfortunately burned down, but I had a lot of regular customers that would come into the store, on a daily basis. Some of the elderly, they would come in every day just because it's, somewhere cool to go in the hot summertime, or they're just getting fresh food, you know, coming to the deli because I work in a deli section, and just seeing a lot of them, I knew their orders already, so they'd come up and they'd order the same thing all the time, so I knew what they wanted, and that was cool to be able to know your customers, you know. A lot of them, I'm not good with names, so I didn't know them by name, but by face. I'm great with faces. I can, oh yeah, I know you. You were here 2 days ago. So, and same with my roundtable. My part-time job was roundtable and delivering pizza. There's people that would order weekly, so every week they'd get pizza. And so just knowing the closeness and a small community where you can know people, even if it's not by name, you know them by face, they recognize you. Mm-hmm. And when you're at the store, or like the Gold Nugget days, oh yeah, how are you doing? How's it going? You know, how's work at the store? How's you know, it's great to be able to know people.
At first, when people were like, oh, it's going to be years, everything's horrible, you're not going to have any water, you're not going to, I mean, it was really just, it's like, God, why would you move back? But we had kind of gone back and forth about, well, where would we go? And our daughter was like, I need to graduate a Paradise High Bobcat. You know, this is her senior year. She needed to do that. And so we were like, well, we're going to be in the community anyways. I work for the county, so it's not like you could just transfer somewhere. And so we wanted to stay in the community somewhere. But when December 15th rolled around and they finally let us come back up the hill, the drive up, I mean, part of it was heartbreaking, but part of it was just like, oh, this is home. This is a familiar route. And by the time we pulled into the driveway and we were standing in the middle of all of our debris, I had felt a sense of peace that I hadn't felt in a month and a half. And it was like I could feel my dad here. I could feel all these memories, and it was like, you know, babe, I think we should rebuild. And I mean, we just decided that, yeah, we're going to do this. And so then, of course, it was, you know, the rest of the task of talking to insurance and seeing what we would need to do, and then talking to a contractor. And there was a lot that went into it, and some of it was easier than others to accomplish. But, you know, we came when our debris was removed. We came and we were standing here, and it still felt like home. It's really a community effort as far as working with the utilities and with the town hall and with your contractor. You have to learn to work together and to make it make sense. And it seems like a huge daunting task, but if you just take it one little thing at a time, it's really helpful. And for anyone who's questioning whether you should rebuild or not, you should. But it's that sense of being home has been the most amazing feeling for us, and knowing that I have a community that has my back, and we will lift you up. We will be there for you. You know, we have our zones on Facebook and at the CMA church. You know, if you have questions, ask them, because chances are someone else has already had to deal with it, and maybe we'll be able to help you. And so as a community, we rebuild together, and we have your back, and your community wants you back. It's a good thing. It's a hard fight, and it's still hard. You'd be foolish to not recognize some of the things that could happen, and it definitely takes a lot more planning being home, because there's not as many services or the hours. You have to be very conscientious about what's going on in your community, and plan ahead. And we're home, and that's awesome.